Closing arguments could come as soon as today in the trial of Jeremy Rocha. He is the man accused of shooting and killing volunteer firefighter John Giros. This happened on I-70 near Tower Road in June of 2022. It was Father's Day weekend, and Giros was driving to go camping with his wife and 3 kids. They were all in the car. Rocha faces 2 counts of first-degree murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. The trial picks back up this morning at 9 in Adams County. Right now, we're waiting on another jury to decide the case of a man accused of killing 4 people. They'll pick up on their deliberations this morning. Some of the victims, including his ex, had filed for protection orders against him days before the shooting. Prosecutors say in October of 2022, Joseph Castorena's ex was trying to leave him. He came to a house in Aurora to kill members of her family. Prosecutors say Castorena tried to shoot and kill his ex, the mother of his children. She wasn't hurt, but 3 of her family members were. The 4th who died was someone who lived on the property. The defense argued Castorena was acting in self-defense. Castorena fled to Mexico. It took months for police to find him. Castorena's brother and cousin pled guilty this year after investigators said they helped him escape.
A STEM event for middle school girls on the Aurora campus has been canceled due to the pro-Palestine protests. More than 1,000 7th grade girls had signed up for the Girls Exploring Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. It was supposed to happen today in a building just off the Tivoli Quad, but organizers canceled it because of the ongoing protests and the encampment that's been there for weeks. They cited safety concerns and also said Aurora campus police recommended this cancellation. This would have been the 23rd year for the event. Organizers do not plan to reschedule. School leaders at UC Irvine in California called in the cops to break up a pro-Palestine protest the university said had turned violent. This happened last night after the group occupied a lecture hall. This is the footage that you're seeing right here behind me. Police in riot gear formed a barricade and warned the crowd that they were part of an unlawful assembly. Police eventually took back the hall, cleared an encampment that had stood for 2 weeks, and arrested several protesters, including professors backing their students.
They are destroying the campus and undoing a democratic, peaceful protest. Shame on them.
UC Irvine classes are all remote today. The university also asked employees not to come to campus. Meanwhile, pro-Palestine protesters took over an abandoned building at UC Berkeley. This came a day after an encampment was cleared on campus once protesters had come to an agreement with the school. The new encampment is now just a couple of blocks from campus. It's not clear if the demonstrators are students or even residents, nor is it clear how long they plan to occupy the building. And on the other side of the country, NYU students staged a walkout at graduation in protest of the war in Gaza. During the university president's speech, a few dozen protesters, some with hands painted red, walked out, then rallied outside the stadium. Commencement went on as planned inside.
All right, it's 6:05 right now. And new this morning, state lawmakers are trying to send a message that they know our rural hospitals are struggling with funding and finding enough doctors and nurses. Now, news reporter Anusha Roy joins us live this morning from the Capitol. And Anusha, lawmakers okayed some more help this session. It's really highlighting that's been a long-standing struggle in our state.
Yeah, I mean, years and decades in the making, and ultimately this legislation is now waiting on the governor's signature. He did say in a statement to us that he supports better access to health care, saving people money, and that he will be reviewing the final version of this bill when it does reach his desk. If all of that happens, it infuses around $800,000 into this program, but ultimately really focusing on a rural health care workforce initiative. When you look at statistics from the Colorado Rural Health Center, it shows that around 77% of our state is considered rural or frontier. Ultimately, that means around 700,000 people are living in these areas. When it comes to rural hospitals, yes, it is the only healthcare for huge chunks of Colorado, but it's also a huge economic engine as well. And yet the Colorado Hospital Association says a majority, 85%, are not operating within a sustainable operating margin. I also had a really interesting conversation with the CEO of a rural hospital called Lincoln Health out in Hugo, and he said that he's grateful for all of these pipelines that are popping up across the state to really build out a better workforce for rural Colorado. But he has a very specific place that he would like to spend money when it comes to education.
One of the challenges we found in our area was that for a while, we didn't have a single anatomy or physiology teacher in the high schools in the area that we serve. So it's tough to get kids to go into the health services if they don't have exposure to that at the high school level. So I'd like to see more money put in the secondary school level to help kids prepare and train and get exposure to those things.
So the Rural Workforce Initiative is run through CU right now. They said initially they got about a fourth of the funding that they were hoping for to run that program, and they're grateful that they're getting another infusion of money as long as the governor signs off on this. But ultimately, they need to be figuring out more of a long-term solution. Reporting live in Denver, Anusha Roy, 9 News.
Yeah, it's baby steps here, but at least they're seeing some movement. Anusha, thank you. Well, women have a new way to check for cervical cancer. The FDA has signed off on a self-test. Basically, women can collect a sample at home to be screened at a doctor's office or urgent care facility. According to the CDC, cervical cancer kills roughly 4,000 women every year in the U.S.
Denver Public Schools has struggled for years to install air conditioning in all of its schools. Now the district has a plan to finally finish that work. They are proposing a $975 million bond to pay for these air conditioning and cooling upgrades. DPS says the price tag for these improvements is high, but they say the bond won't increase taxes for voters, and if approved, work will start quickly on improvements with the first round of schools getting AC installed next summer. East High Junior Noah Schur says with nearly $1 billion investment in the district at stake, he's making sure students and sustainability are at the center of this new plan.
As a student, I am a big part of the district. The district functions for me and a lot of my friends and a lot of other students, and I just really wanted to make sure that I was in the room to really not make those decisions, but really work on the issues that students really care about, which sustainability, big piece of that.
The Community Planning Advisor Committee will propose their plan to the school board next month. The board is expected to vote on the bond in August, and if approved, it would then go before the voters in the fall.
And one thing you want to know about our weather are the stats. Going for a high of 75 degrees today. That compares to a high of 71, which would be normal for this time of year. 43 would be the normal low. 91 the record from 1996, and the record low 30 from 1910.
Ed, thank you. We want to show you what things are looking like from our CDOT cameras, how things are moving out here this hour. I-70 in Wadsworth moving along nicely. I-25 north of the metro in Meade. No major problems there in the area of Weld County Road 34. Travel for you, and I-25 and 84th Avenue moving along nicely. And right now, so far, so good at 225 in Mississippi, both directions.
Erica, thank you. Well, looking ahead, we are 9 days away from the kickoff of another summer tradition. That's right, Water World will hold its grand opening next Saturday. It's something we do with the family every year. It's a big year for the park, which is celebrating its 45th anniversary. Water World expects nearly 500,000 visitors throughout the summer.
Always a good time there. Well, the